This is a 2007 Infiniti M45 Sport, and what I'm trying to show you here, man, I hope this video actually carries it through. It's pretty subtle. Look at the right side, and then look at the left side. Maybe you can't tell much difference, but I played with the stance a little bit. The left side has wheel spacers. I wanted to see how flush the wheels could be again, compared to the body. And yeah, look at that. Thing is, even the factory setup isn't too bad because the wheels are not too sunken in. Not that badly. I mean, depending on what angle you get into, you might notice it, but it's not bad. You know, it's not horrible. And this is what the front looks like. It's not too bad, but I mean, as I said, just depends on the angle you look at it at. So what I did was I got 10mm spacers in the, well, a 10mm spacer on the front and 15mm in the back. And I wanted to just show what it looked like. This car looks, you know, that doesn't look all the way flush for some reason. And maybe later can do this. I can get a different kind of, I could get a 15mm in front as well, but I guess psychologically I just did not want them to be equal, for one. And two, I wanted to see, because usually if you have a wider rear track, most times it looks more aggressive. So I wanted to try that out first. Maybe later in the weekend I can go back and get a 15mm in the front. Oh, and actually, the other thing is that for people that end up getting the big brake upgrade, if you decided to keep your wheels, I think 15mm is the minimum needed for these wheels to clear the brakes. But this vehicle is an interesting one, because the 2006 through 2010, because I've always said that my opinion is that this vehicle does really well with square setups, in that the fronts and the rear widths and offsets, basically you should have the same wheels in the front and in the back, especially if you're doing factory height like I am. And I've given an example whenever you use those wheels right there, right? The factory, the sport wheels, those ones right there, right? 9 inches wide, 43 offset, and front and back on this body style, they look really good. So I think maybe if you're the kind of person that doesn't mind spacers, 15mm in front and in the back might be a good idea. And I think something else that's pretty unique about this vehicle is that it's got a rather flattish side, so the wheels don't poke out, the tires don't poke out too much, you know, whenever you get spacers. So an extra 5mm, maybe something like that. Maybe not noticeable to the naked eye, but it might help it look not too bad. The thing about it is that you get a lot more poke looking at the wheels from the middle, from the driver door. But from the ends of the vehicle, the back and the front, not too bad. As I said, I hope this helps you see what's going on. So if you're to get anything from this video, maybe for one, is that if you're trying to figure out whether you should get spacers despite the disadvantages, maybe I'd say don't get them, because not too much of a difference visually, well, at least not with these wheels or tires. But if you're thinking about getting spacers and you're curious about, hey, is it gonna work? 15mm, is that good? I think 15mm is a good compromise, because 15mm is where you get to bolt them down without needing to get longer studs. So I think 15mm front and back is going to be ideal. So yeah, I hope this video is somewhat useful. I think it looks good. So with that knowledge, I guess get some wheel specs that don't require, you know, proper spec'd wheels that don't end up needing spacers, but at least you know how far out you can come out, right?